Welcome to a deep dive into a birthday celebration that's unlike any other we're going to explore.
Yeah.
15decides2024.txt, what seems to be a transcript of a spiritual leader speaking to their followers.
Interesting.
And it's packed with symbolism and some pretty big promises.
Yeah.
So get ready for some fascinating insights.
I'm ready.
Well, you're right. This text is
Yeah.
anything but a typical birthday message.
Right.
It offers a glimpse into a belief system centered around
Probably.
purity transformation and a really unique connection between this leader called Father Shiva
Okay.
and his followers.
Interesting.
Yeah, the whole shared birthday thing really
Yeah.
jumped out at me.
I know.
The father and his children, the followers all celebrating on the same day. That's got to be more than just a coincidence, right?
Definitely. I think it seems to point to a profound,
Yeah,
almost inseparable bond.
right.
Imagine a community where everyone shares not just beliefs, but a
Yeah.
birthday too.
Yeah.
That level of connection could create an incredibly strong sense of
Yeah.
belonging, even dependence on the leader.
It's almost like they're all bound together by destiny.
Yeah.
With Father Shiva at the center, and then there's this mention of salagram children. Does that literally mean children, or is there something more symbolic going on?
It's a bit ambiguous, which makes it all the more interesting.
Okay.
Salagrams are these sacred stones, often representing the Hindu god Vishnu.
Okay.
So connecting followers to salagrams could be a way of signifying their spiritual rebirth or a special elevated status within the group.
So it's not just a birthday, it's like a cosmic reset button. Speaking of resets, the text really emphasizes achieving karmatit,
Okay.
the state of being free from karmic consequences,
Right.
and the path to get there.
Yeah.
Complete purity.
Exactly. It's a concept that resonates across various belief systems. Think about it.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want a clean slate, a fresh start, free from the weight of past actions?
Yeah.
It's a powerful idea, and it's central to this group's beliefs.
It's like a spiritual deep clean. And to drive home the commitment required, the text compares the followers' vow of purity to something pretty intense.
Yeah.
The fasting rituals observed by devotees on Shivratri.
Interesting.
Can you explain what Shivratri is all about for
Sure.
those of us who might not be familiar?
Of course, Shivratri is a major Hindu festival
Okay.
dedicated to Lord Shiva. It's a night of intense
Uh-huh.
spiritual practice, often involving fasting
Right.
and all-night vigils,
Wow.
by linking their vow of purity to this revered observance.
Okay.
The speaker elevates the stakes for the followers. It's not just a casual promise. It's a commitment that demands unwavering effort,
Yeah.
like observing Shivratri every single day.
Wow, that puts their vow into a whole new light.
Yeah.
But achieving this level of purity can't be easy, right? The
Yeah.
text even points to a sort of enemy within that makes things even harder. The ego, the I.
You hit the nail on the head, and the way that the speaker presents this I
Uh-huh.
is fascinating.
Yeah.
It's portrayed as this double-edged sword.
Right.
On one hand, it's the source of our self-respect, our individuality, but it's also the root of weakness,
Yeah.
discouragement, the voice that holds us back from achieving our full potential.
So how do they propose we tackle this tricky... It's not like we can just ignore it, right?
Well, get ready for this analogy.
Yeah.
The speaker suggests sacrificing the May.
Okay.
Now, before you imagine anything too dramatic,
Right.
May refers to the bleating of a goat,
Okay.
often sacrificed during Shivratri.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
A bleeding goat and the ego... What's the connection?
Think about it. The constant bleeding,
Yeah.
that incessant need for
Yeah.
attention, for satisfaction.
Right.
That's the speaker's representation of the ego.
Mhm.
By sacrificing the May,
Right.
they're urging their followers to silence that inner critic, that nagging voice of self-doubt and surrender to a higher purpose.
So it's like we've all got these little May goats running around in our heads creating chaos.
Exactly.
Now that's an image that's going to stick with me.
It's certainly memorable.
It is.
And it leads us to another intriguing aspect of this text.
Okay.
The anticipation of a major transformation,
Right.
an event they believe is just on the horizon.
You're right. There are hints of this impending shift.
Yeah.
Throughout the text, it definitely feels like they're gearing up for something big.
Right.
Something that requires them to be ever ready. But what exactly does that mean?
Yeah.
And what role do they see themselves playing in this grand event?
That's where things get even more fascinating.
Okay.
This ever-ready state seems to involve facing a period of destruction head-on,
Right.
suggesting that their transformation,
Yeah.
and possibly the world's, will involve some major upheaval.
Okay, now I'm even more curious. This text really knows how to keep you hooked. We'll be right back to unpack this idea of transformation and explore what it means to be ever ready in a world on the brink of change.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back and ready to dive deeper into this idea of destruction and what it means to be ever ready.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the most intriguing threads in this whole text, don't you think?
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
seems like more than just personal change. It's hinting at a collective shift, a potential upheaval
Yeah.
that could impact the whole world.
Yeah, and the text doesn't shy away from the dramatic language.
No, it doesn't.
It talks about a specific number, 16,000, being crucial for this transformation to happen.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? Is it literal, symbolic, or maybe a bit of both?
It's hard to say for sure,
Yeah.
but that ambiguity is part of what makes it so fascinating.
Right.
On one level, it could represent a critical mass
Right.
of followers who need to reach a certain level of spiritual readiness for this event to unfold.
Just like a tipping point for global change, exactly, or it could be symbolic, pointing to a specific state of consciousness,
Right.
or spiritual attainment required for this transformation to occur.
Either way, it adds this sense of urgency,
Yeah.
almost like a countdown to something momentous.
Right.
And it makes me wonder, what does it even mean to be ever ready for something like this?
Right.
It's such a loaded phrase.
It suggests a state of constant vigilance, a preparedness that goes beyond just practical matters.
Right.
It could involve cultivating mental and spiritual resilience,
Yeah.
being able to adapt to rapid change,
Right.
and maybe even letting go of attachments to the world as we know it.
That's a pretty radical idea.
It is.
It makes me think about how we often resist change,
Yeah.
even when it's inevitable.
Right.
Maybe this ever-ready mindset is about embracing uncertainty
Yeah.
and trusting in a larger process we don't fully understand.
I think you're onto something. It could be about surrendering to a higher purpose.
Recognizing that we might be part of something much bigger than ourselves.
Now, amidst all this talk of transformation and potential upheaval,
Right.
there's this really interesting thread about mercy
Yeah.
that keeps popping up.
Okay.
It seems almost counterintuitive why focus on mercy
Yeah.
when the world's about to go through some major destruction.
It's a great question, and it highlights the complexity of this belief system. Remember, they're also striving for karmatit,
Right.
this state of being free from karmic consequences.
Right.
And mercy could be a key part of that equation.
You mean like by extending mercy to others, you're somehow freeing yourself
Yeah.
from karmic baggage?
It's possible maybe it's about recognizing the interconnectedness of everything, that harming others ultimately harms ourselves,
Right.
and that practicing compassion is a way to break free from that cycle.
So it's not just about being nice.
Right.
It's a strategic path to spiritual liberation.
Exactly. And the text uses a beautiful image to describe this ideal state of mercy. Master oceans of mercy.
Wow.
It evokes this sense of vastness, boundless compassion that flows outward, touching everything and everyone.
And they also talk about becoming like lighthouses,
Yeah.
radiating these drops of attainment to a world in need.
Okay.
It's a powerful image.
Uh-huh.
Light piercing through darkness, offering guidance and hope
Right.
in a time of turmoil.
It is. And it ties back to the idea of individual transformation being connected
Right.
to a larger purpose.
Okay.
By conquering their inner meme and achieving a state of purity and mercy, they believe they can help guide others through this period of destruction
Right.
and into whatever comes next.
It's almost like they see themselves as pioneers paving the way for a new era of consciousness. But what about those who aren't part of this group?
Right.
Those who haven't necessarily embarked on this path of purification and self-sacrifice. What does this impending transformation hold for them? That's something I'm really curious about. It's a big question, isn't it? What happens to those who aren't part of this inner circle, so to speak? Are they going to be swept up in this wave of destruction?
The text doesn't offer specific answers,
Right.
which honestly just adds to the mystery.
Yeah.
It does, however, emphasize
Okay.
this idea of interconnectedness.
Right.
Remember that image of the followers becoming master oceans of mercy?
Yeah.
Perhaps they believe that their transformation will have a ripple effect positively impacting even those who haven't consciously chosen this path.
So like a rising tide lifts all boats.
Exactly.
That's a hopeful thought.
It is.
Especially considering the destruction element.
Right.
It makes me think about the different ways we try to navigate change and uncertainty in our own lives.
Right.
Do we cling to what we know? Or do we try to ride the waves?
It's a timeless dilemma, isn't it?
It is.
And this text seems to suggest that clinging to the familiar won't cut it, this ever-ready state. Seems to require a willingness to let go. To embrace the unknown, even if it feels a little scary.
It's funny because even though we're talking about a very specific belief system, these themes resonate so broadly. Who hasn't felt that inner meme bleeding away, holding them back from taking a leap of faith?
Exactly, and that's the beauty of exploring texts like this. They offer a window into a different worldview. But they also hold up a mirror to our own struggles and aspirations.
For me, the biggest takeaway is the emphasis on personal transformation. As a catalyst for wider change. It's a powerful reminder that even amidst chaos and uncertainty, we have the power to choose our response, to cultivate compassion, and maybe even become a beacon of light for others.
Beautifully put. And it leaves us with some questions to ponder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
What does it mean to be ever ready in our own lives? What meme do we need to silence to embrace our full potential? And how can we each become a master ocean of mercy in a world that desperately needs it?
This 15 to season 2024.txt has been a fascinating deep dive into a belief system.
It has.
That's both unique and surprisingly relatable. It's a reminder that even in the face of the unknown, there's always room for growth, compassion, and hope.
Absolutely.
So as we go about our day, let's remember to keep those meme goats at bay. And maybe even try to radiate a few drops of our own attainment.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. And remember, the exploration never truly ends. Keep diving deep, keep questioning, and keep seeking those nuggets of wisdom that resonate with you.